For almost 10 years, Emily and I lived the kind of life most people would envy. We had met in college, built our future from nothing, and celebrated milestone after milestone together. Buying our first home, traveling to the places we had dreamed of, creating memories we thought would last forever. She wasn't just my wife. She was my confidant, my partner, my best friend. Or at least, that's what I believed. But perfection often disguises fractures, and those cracks in our marriage didn't appear overnight. They crept in slowly, almost imperceptibly. Emily grew distant. She seemed distracted, glued to her phone in a way that felt off. Her late nights at the office became more frequent, and when I raised my concerns, she brushed them aside with excuses about deadlines and pressure at work. I convinced myself it was temporary, a phase every couple went through. Love, I told myself, could weather anything. That illusion shattered one night while I was tidying up the kitchen. Her phone buzzed on the counter, the screen lighting up. The preview message made my heart sink. "You make me so happy, can't wait to see you again." It was from someone named Dan. My chest tightened. 1,000 rationalizations raced through my mind. Maybe a friend, maybe a colleague. But deep down, I already knew. The next morning, while Emily showered, I crossed a line I swore I'd never cross. I unlocked her phone. What I found gutted me. The messages weren't innocent. They were full of intimacy, declarations of love, memories of nights they had shared. She mocked our marriage, telling him she felt trapped in a cage. Every word was a blade. I didn't confront her right away. Instead, I needed the truth laid bare. I hired a private investigator. Within a week, I had proof. Photos of Emily and Dan at hotels, dinner receipts, images of them kissing in public as though their affair was something to be proud of. That Friday night, she walked into the house humming, carefree, as though nothing was wrong. I sat at the dining table, every piece of evidence spread out before me. Her smile faltered when she saw my face. "Sit down," I told her, my voice ice. She hesitated, then sat. When I slid the folder across the table, her denial came quickly, desperate. "Dan was just a friend," she said. I was being paranoid. But when I began reading her own messages aloud, pointing to the pictures she couldn't explain away, the facade collapsed. Tears streamed down her face as she whispered, "I didn't mean for it to happen. It was a mistake." A mistake? My voice was sharp with anger. Booking hotel rooms isn't a mistake. Writing love letters isn't a mistake. You chose this. Again and again, you chose to betray me. She begged for forgiveness, promised to cut things off, swore she'd go to therapy. But the foundation of trust that once held us together was already gone. I told her to pack her things. Her sobs echoed through the house as she stuffed clothes into a suitcase. At the door, she paused, waiting for me to call her back. I didn't. That night, the house felt colder than ever. Our home, once filled with laughter, now suffocated by silence. 3 days later, when I thought the worst was behind me, there was a knock at my door. Standing there was Dan, the man who had unknowingly detonated my life. I braced myself for confrontation. "What do you want?" I asked, my voice laced with contempt. He shifted nervously. "Look, man, I didn't know she was married. She told me you two were separated. I swear I had no idea." At first, I wanted to slam the door in his face. But something in his voice, the raw sincerity, stopped me. He showed me messages Emily had sent him. She had painted herself as the victim, describing me as cold, unloving, controlling. She had lied to him as much as she had lied to me. When I found out the truth, I ended it immediately, Dan said, guilt heavy in his tone. "I didn't want any part of this. I came here to apologize. You didn't deserve any of this." For a long moment, we stood there, two strangers bound by the same betrayal. Finally, I said, "She played us both." He nodded, his expression pained. If I'd known the truth, I never would have gone near her. After he left, I felt a strange mix of emotions, anger, sadness, and an unexpected relief. Dan wasn't the enemy. He too had been deceived. In the weeks that followed, I started to rebuild. I leaned on friends and family, though some urged me to forgive Emily. I cut those people from my life. I filed for divorce, determined to close that chapter. Emily didn't go quietly. She sent long apologies, promises to change, begged me for another chance. Once, she even showed up at the door in tears. But my decision was final. The door stayed shut. Months later, word reached me that Emily's life had unraveled. Dan wanted nothing to do with her. At work, her lies had caught up to her. She was left alone, facing the wreckage she had created. Meanwhile, I was thriving. For the first time in years, I felt free. I worked out, shedding the weight of stress and neglect. I traveled, exploring places I had always longed to see. I picked up old hobbies, photography, hiking, even learning guitar. What I thought was the end of my life turned out to be a beginning. Her betrayal had taught me hard but priceless lessons. To respect myself, to set boundaries, to surround myself with people who truly valued me. Emily became nothing more than a painful memory, a warning etched into my past. Love is precious, but without trust it cannot survive. Once it's broken, it's nearly impossible to rebuild. Looking back, I see now that her betrayal, as devastating as it was, set me free. I had been clinging to an illusion. By letting go, I found something more important, myself.